All right, so let's talk about New York congestion pricing that just went in yesterday. Now, I'm a New Jersey guy. I don't drive into New York very often, so this is not affecting me personally. But I think that what people have to understand is that the whole congestion pricing thing is just another tax they hitting people over the head with. New York, what's sad about New York to me is that New York is a great city. When I first moved here from the Midwest about 20 years ago, I always lived in Jersey, but I always lived close to New York. Lived in Jersey City, West New York, and all the places closest to Manhattan. But what's happening to New York is that it was already an expensive place to live. Your quality of life to live in New York is already stressed. It's been tight and been stressed 20 years ago, 30 years ago. The problem is now is that they're squeezing y'all even more. So another tax just to come into the city in certain zones. You're already $30 in the hole almost if you're coming from Jersey or any other part of New York. And then you got to understand that that's not counting parking or anything else you're trying to do. So what New York is turning into an unmanageable city to live in. And, I think the congestion pricing is going to hurt people even wanting to come into New York. Those of us who live outside of New York, I don't even like coming to the city anymore. It's just doesn't make sense. It's too expensive to do everything in New York, and they're turning it into a place where it used to be a cool place. Back in the day, it was a place where everybody came as far as art, business. It was the place to be. Some people say, hey, it's New York, it'll always be that. But I think that if you look at the trends in America, especially the last 5 to 10 years, New York has bled population something crazy. Especially during the pandemic. They lost a good 25% of population during that period of time. So what people have to understand, especially the people in New York, all the people who lobby for these type of taxes, they got to understand you're only going to be able to squeeze people so much. And ultimately, what you're doing is you're driving people and business away from New York. Even the firefighters are talking about they wanted to be exempt from that zone. You guys aren't even exempting the firefighters. Crazy. So if you think that, this is going to be good for New York long term, I don't think so. I think in the long run, it's just another reason for people not to come to New York. And all the attractions, all the things that New York is known for, the reality is if you travel around the U.S., there's other cities that are on the rise, that are building things. Businesses are setting up shops other places like Austin, other places in Texas. And they're moving out of places like California, like they've been doing. And nobody wants to set up shop in New York State, because the regulatory stuff is just ridiculous. So that's my spiel on congestion pricing. I think it's already it's too expensive. I mean, you're already paying $17 to drive through any of the tunnel or the bridges, right? And then you're paying an extra $9. So God help you if you have to drive into Manhattan for work, So you can't even have the option to just drive in. Traffic is traffic, but at the end of the day, I don't think this is just about infrastructure when it comes to the MTA. I don't think that money is just going to infrastructure. I think that money is just another tax, and it's about hitting your ass over the head. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments.